yo, these characters, they're pretty good. Before we start, do me a quick favor and leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment. Now, let's get moving. What's up guys, Deco the Pencil here, and let's chat about Dragon Ball characters, aka a really solid cast of characters. I think Dragon Ball has one of the most tightly written cast of characters that I've seen. And note, I'm not that well versed, admittedly. I haven't seen hundreds upon hundreds of anime. However, I understand why Dragon Ball is sort of the standard. Why really, if you're better than Dragon Ball, you're getting good. If you're worse than Dragon Ball, you're getting bad. Because the character writing in Dragon Ball is so solid. It's so well done. Like, that's the thing. When you think of Dragon Ball, you think of Vegeta, you think of Goku, you think of Gohan, you think of Piccolo, you think of Yamcha, you think of Krillin, you think of Tien, you think of Child, you think of all these different characters. And I think the reason that happens so quickly, the reason you can just start naming character moments after character moments after character moments, is because those moments exist. A thing that I've noticed when it comes to a lot of ensemble casts like Dragon Ball is that they sort of fail, or not fail, but they struggle to well-established members of their cast in the ensemble quick enough. There are a lot of anime that have loads of characters, crazy amounts of characters. Like, if you go to their wiki, geez, there's a lot of characters there. However, the main issue that all those manga come across is that those characters not lack presence, they lack a foundation in the narrative. Like, if I were to name, that's the thing, there are a lot of examples, but I don't want to go into examples because the focus is Dragon Ball. But the reason I'd say Dragon Ball's writing is so solid and so good to me in particular is because I can name all the characters. All these characters have good moments to them, all these characters have memorable moments to them, and that defines the character. It makes sure the character never leaves my mind. Even if the character had one thing, Chaozu blew himself up. I ain't forgetting that though. What else has Chaozu done other than help Tien cheat? That's it, and that's the great thing. I think that the characters in Dragon Ball have such specific narrative functions that they work well enough that they're hard to forget. Like, Yamcha dying, Yamcha getting abused. It's a sad thing for his character, but you remember him for that. Krillin always being the person who's willing to throw himself up against the big dogs no matter how outclassed he is. Yeah, that may be sad to watch Krillin get beat up a lot, but that's his point, that's his bravery. Goku's determination to fight anything and everything that breathes or doesn't breathe in existence, yes, that is Goku's dream, and you remember him for that. Vegeta, his fantastic character journey from arrogant prince to actual calm, reasonable protector of Earth, that's amazing. Piccolo's journey from being this cold, heartless demon to a person who killed his own nemesis, realized he had kind of lost his purpose considering there were so many stronger beings out there, and then grew to be a better individual over the course of a year. There's so many solid character journeys. There are so many points in the narrative where you can be like, oh yeah, that's character growth. Oh yeah, that's good. That's great. It's great because they're numerous enough that they feel memorable, they feel impactful, but at the same time they're scarce enough that it doesn't feel rushed or forced. The only character journey I could say is even remotely forced is Gohan. But even then, I think Gohan's power progression is forced, but I don't think his character narrative is that forced. It's great to see all these characters through Toriyama's legendary work, honestly, come into existence, have a moment that defines their existence, and then progress throughout the narrative, getting more of those moments, or simply persisting and being memorable and always being there. And that's the big difference. Tien isn't that strong. However, Tien has come in the clutch way past times he really should have. He came in the clutch against semi-perfect Cell. He came in the clutch against Buhan. He came in the clutch in Tournament of Power. He was putting in his work. Master Roshi really hadn't been useful since Dragon Ball. But the Tournament of Power said, hold on, let me go digging into the grave real quick. And they brought out Master Roshi. That is so cool to me. The fact that characters can be revived. And now, am I saying that how they get revived makes a lot of sense all the time? No. Master Roshi suddenly doing secret train. Nah, it doesn't make sense. However, if if I let that slide, and I have to let a lot of things slide in anime, especially when it comes to character writing, I think the sheer character uses behind that, the point of Roshi being there, the point of Tien being there, the point of Krillin being there, the point of Yamcha being there, what makes it work is that it shows different aspects of character of humanity in general. That's the thing. You can see it with Krillin, the brave aspect of humanity. Krillin's greatly outclassed, but that doesn't stop him from fighting. You can see Tien, the determination of humanity. No matter how big the obstacle is, they will throw themselves against it because they have to. Yamcha, you can see the fragility of humanity. The man gets messed up all the time, like stabbed through the chest, blown up by a Cyberman. It's sad, poor boy. Vegeta, you can see the growth of an arrogant man to a humble one. It's so great to see. Goku, he's a neutral, flat character. However, seeing Goku's morality shift, seeing how his ideals evolve, it's interesting to see. Sure, his flat motivation stays the same. However, what he does as a result of that motivation is what's constantly changing, and that's interesting to analyze. Gohan growing up from this scared kid who got kidnapped by his uncle to the strongest Z warrior at the time of the Cell Saga and killing Cell. All these moments and all these character journeys are so well written and they're so well executed. And that's a difficult thing to do in general. If you're writing and you're trying to make characters, golly gee, is it hard to do. And once again, I'm not an experienced pro writer. I'm not a professional critic. I'm a guy on the internet telling you what I think about some Dragon Ball characters. However, from what I can see, it's super solid. It works so well because the characters have their current established journeys that have really finished. Dragon Ball has technically been over since like the mid-90s. And that's okay. But the great thing is that these characters have continued. We see more of them in Dragon Ball Super, and while you can argue Dragon Ball Super isn't as good as Z, whatever, the great thing you can see about the characters is that there are more stories that can still be told with this cast. And I think that's the amazing thing that Toriyama did when writing his ensemble cast for this long-running series in particular. He understood the fact that there's always got to be something more that you can pull out of a character. Human beings don't have a character journey and then stop. Like, you can discover a function about who you are, but you can always dig deeper. You can always learn more. And I think Toriyama does a great job of just digging more out of his characters when really there shouldn't be much to dig left. Like, seeing Vegeta's consistent growth, it's impressive. Seeing Goku's constantly shifting morals, it's impressive. I didn't think the man could have that many morals. Seeing all these characters just grow and learn and interact, it's fantastic. And I think the thing I have to praise the most about Toriyama is that he managed to create a world that perfectly matches its characters and characters that perfectly match the world. A thing that I notice a lot whenever I'm inhaling a story is that sometimes it feels like the world doesn't necessarily match the characters, or the characters doesn't necessarily match the world. Like, I can tell one of these was made first, and as a byproduct, you made the other after. And while that's okay, I think Dragon Ball has this perfect meld of both. Like, the way that characters allow each other to act as almost stepping stones to a greater narrative is fantastic. The reason the exposition done by Raditz is massive. However, it wasn't that hard for people back then and for people now to accept that, oh yeah, Goku's an alien. I mean, the boy had a tail, and then Raditz has a tail, and he's his brother. So it makes sense that there was a race of alien monkey men out there. So that seems to make sense. You had Kami and Piccolo talking this weird, unique language that no one ever else did, and they're both green. So that must have meant there was more of them out there. It's for the gods. Think about it, King Kai. It makes sense that, oh, okay, so Kami, you're the god or guardian of Earth, so there's got to be someone higher than you, and then there's got to be someone higher than you, and then there's someone got to be higher than you. And the amazing thing about the world is that since it builds so well with its characters, it feels organic when the characters grow with the world and the world grows with the characters. As the characters get stronger, the world naturally, that's the big point here, as a repercussion grows stronger with them. Think about it. If you looked at End of Dragon Ball, if you went to End of Dragon Ball and brought up a picture Like, go back in time, take a picture of Super Master Ultra Instinct Goku versus Jiren, slapped it in front of him. Could that person at the end of original Dragon Ball be like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. I completely understand that. No. However, you show someone Dragon Ball all the way through the end of Super, and they'll understand it all, because the series paces itself super well with its characters and with its world, and I think that's fantastic. I think it's super difficult to do, like unbelievably difficult to do. Like, I still have no idea how to do it. I've read other works that do it too, but I still to this day look at my own writing work and I'm like, how do I do what? And that's great, because I think Dragon Ball acts as a good standard for character writing. I think it shows you the most optimal way to do a lot of things. You want to write a flat character arc? Look at Goku. You want to write a character growth based in the world of Pride? Look at Vegeta. You want to write the coming up story of a young hero? Look at Gohan. You want to write the redemption story of a villain? Look at Piccolo. You have all these amazing examples in Dragon Ball itself that work so well in other narratives, and I think that's why Dragon Ball's a big inspiration. One, because it's popular, and two, because it's written well. It's written well, at least in my mind. Other people may think it sucks. I can understand if you think it sucks. To each their own. However, that's really good, and that's just on the protagonist. I would go into the villains heavily, but I think the same case just applies to them. They're all so unique. They all work really well with the world, and usually they all have these big bombastic personalities, or they have these really cool personalities that manage to feed well off the main characters and thus makes their conflicts interesting. And that's wonderful. I think it's very difficult to do once again, but I respect it a lot. What do you guys think about Dragon Ball characters? I just want to know, because I don't know, I've talked to a lot of people about Dragon Ball before, and they're like, you know what? I think it is really, really good, but other series have done it better. And I agree with that. I believe series even before Dragon Ball have done things that Dragon Ball has done better, but I think Dragon Ball managed to be the perfect... It was lightning in a bottle, in the sense that every single criteria was met for Dragon Ball to blow up and go crazy as much as it did, and that's respectable. But what do you guys think about Dragon Ball characters in the comment section down below? I want to hear it. I want to see whatever hot takes you have about them, because I think it's just fun to talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off.